let's just jump right to it because I'm about to tell you guys what is going on. What is up? What is up? What's up, people? What's up? Hey, come here. Sorry, guys. So much is going on. So I'm about to get my breath. Um, hi, guys. So I feel like every time I come on this platform, I'm sorry about all of these technical issues that are happening that I can't control. And if you know me, when I can't control something that I feel like I should be in control of, it irks my everlasting soul. And this is a good time to actually talk about this show and what this topic is. So I want to make sure. So I see Naomi in the chats. I see T Chanel in the chats. T Chanel, confirm if you can hear the show. Let me know if you can hear me. Hey guys, come on. Let me see if you can hear me. Type yes, you can hear me. And if you can, we want to move right along with the show. This show is starting somewhat almost to an hour. Can hear and see. Okay. Mr. Here can hear, can see. Can you come get this? Okay. So, guys, I have no idea what happened. I don't know what happened. So let me just tell you this. I I feel like I'm going to apologize now for all future flops and blops, whatever happened with this show. When the show is freaking running live and you got so many things happening, you can't control it at all. All you can do is start from square one and start the show all over again. And that's what I decided to do. I have to tell you, I was very much, thank you guys. I was very much tempted to be like, D, shut the show down, don't broadcast tonight because it's having whatever its problem is. And I'm like, no, that's me giving into my frustration, which is what I want to talk about also, which is this show is about. If you read the description in the bottom, it is about what we are going to call the purge. That's what today's show is about. It's about the purge. It's about purging all these negative, toxic feelings, people, relationships, even employments, anything that's causing you to be unhappy with self. This is what this show is about. And I guess, in all honesty, I was being tested. I was being tested to see if I know how to purge my own situation. And my own situation is I had no control about how this freaking show was going to happen without glitches. I'm like, okay, no glitches, no problems, please. Set up. Trust me, I'm not last minute anything. I'm very much there. And beknownst to me, here come another issue. But as I have said before, and I will say freaking again, I want you guys to read this because it's very much what I am feeling right now. Okay? I'm going to drink my cold tea out of my Wonder Woman cup because, you know, Wonder Woman stands for getting the truth. And let me quench my thirst and get my breath. So, as you can see in the description here, it's so funny I came up with this clip and this description. And guess what? The show must go on. Despite all of the problem situation, bloops and bloopers, the show must go on and it's going to go on. I will not be defeated. And when I'm defeated, I'll pray about it and then become undefeated. All right. So, if you as you can see here where it says the show must go on, I ask you to join me for the purge discussion. Let's discuss how to recognize when something, someone in your life is not meeting your best interests. Now, I'm not sure if many people know how to do that. I see I see two likes. So if you're in the comments, don't forget, come in the door. It's like using your key. Drop a like. I know some people want you to like it after the show, or you can post a comment that you didn't like, but you at least said, I'm here and I'm going to talk about what it is I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to like and say what I don't like about it. So, nevertheless, make sure if you're in the comments, drop the like, click the like button. So, Can we just focus on toxicity and what that looks like for you, me, and all those around us? Oftentimes, we are faced with adversities. Just before coming to you guys now, I had a situation. I was already live. I had to delete that whole little snippet because it was broken, whatever it was. Broken, it wasn't giving me what I want. And I don't want to just give you anything. I want to give you the best I can give you. So shut it down and start all over again. And that was me purging the feelings of being defeated and just annoyed and frustrated. Again, I think once we learn how to take ownership about our feelings and what we do with these feelings, negative feelings, most importantly, that's what I'm focusing on right now, then we can get to a place of taking a deep breath, thinking with a clear head, and moving with intentions. And that is important to know. Um, a little bit about this. I work in the field of substance abuse and mental health issues. And I have to tell you that I often come in contact with clients who don't know how to recognize when they are in a situation that they need to get out of. The people around them who are seeing with clear vision have this clear outlook of saying, look, this is the problem. Why aren't you removing this problem and doing something about it? But oftentimes, when you're in the black hole, you can't see in the black hole. It's almost like skating or riding a bike. And when you ride in a bike or you're skating and you happen to fall, the very first thing you want to do is get up so no one sees the situation. Not even yourself. You don't want to recognize that you actually are in a situation that is making you uncomfortable. You feel the uncomfortable, but you don't want to recognize it. How do you get out of that? Well, first and foremost, you have to recognize the elephant in the room. You have to recognize that you are in the black hole and there is something going on. I encourage people when I'm in my line of work that when you're in this dark place, before you run, recognize what is going on so that when you run from it, you don't run back to it. It's called recognizing the elephant in the room. And once you recognize the elephant in the room, you can then purge that situation out of your life. It's not magical. It doesn't happen overnight. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that this is a magic pill that you take and all of a sudden, poof, the situation is gone. Absolutely not. It happens to the very person who is living in poverty to the very rich person who's living on the hills. Everybody has a time that they need to purge something that's not bringing them fulfillment and meeting their needs. I'm going to look over at the comments so that I can stay tuned. If you're in the comments, then you're seeing what people are saying over there. Here's a question. Do you think some people accidentally attract negative like empathies empathies attracts narcissistic? Oh, okay, I got you, Naomi. Yes, we but that's the energy. Negative energy attracts negative energy. Narcissistic people who can't be empathetic, sympathetic, you attract what you put out. Oftentimes, if you are finding yourself in a place of stuck and negative and frustrated, the likelihood is that you're going to attract those kind of people to you. Why? Because they say misery loves company. I believe that. I believe that every time you're in a black hole, oftentimes people who are in the black hole themselves don't mind you being in the black hole because they're not in the hole by themselves. So that is my feedback, Naomi, about that question. I think it's actually a good question. And I appreciate the questions, guys. This is an open conversation. I'm not here. If you read my disclaimer in my opening credits, I'm letting you know that I'm an expert in my field. But when I'm on this platform, I'm here to learn from you and share what my opinions and views are. And likewise, you can do the same. We can ask each other questions. I plan on asking you guys questions if I haven't already asked in other shows, which I'm sure I have. But Again, this is a show where we can have an open dialogue and talk about what is going on and how we see those things happening. Now, I want to also focus back on this whole thing about purging. So, there are people who I come across. Like I said, I work with people who suffer with addiction. I work with people who suffer with low self esteem. I work with people who have broken family systems, people who have broken friendships, broken marriages. They're broken with themselves, and they don't know how to get out of it. But yet they continue to surround themselves around people who too can't help them get out of a situation. They often, it's kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket and expecting this person whom you have issues with to carry this basket full of eggs and not drop it when they're also fragmented themselves. It's very difficult, absolutely very difficult to do that. So we need to learn how to purge these situations, get in a place of healing and recognizing how we need to move forward. And the first thing I like to tell people to do is stop making deposits in places you can't make a withdrawal from. So if you have empty relationships, such as marriages, I'm not telling you to go divorce your husband or your wife. Poor friendships. I'm not saying cut off your best friend or your next door neighbor who's been a friend and cutting your grass. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that if these relationships are empty and void, you might want to take an opportunity to say, you know what, I need to purge some of these relationships because I can't make a withdrawal from them. They're not bringing me any wholeness, any healthiness, right? So, yeah, you might want to consider that. The other thing that I want to bring up to you guys is being able to feel okay with purging. You know, people would say, "Well, why are you leaving that relationship, or why are you considering divorce, or why did you stop getting high off drugs, or why did you stop letting people abuse your body?" Because I believe that when people get tired, they're tired, and until they're tired, nothing changes. You either change it or you give up. And the question is are you ready to make a shift, purge a situation or situations so that you can get to a place of wholeness and fulfilled with some peace, right? I think it's just a good thing to do. It's a healthy way to do it. Um, I don't even know if all of you even know what purging means, right? Because of course people have their own definition what purging means. So, I want you to look at the definition of what purging means, because it says to rid of whatever is impure or undesirable, clean, cleanness, purified, or to rid clear or free. All that is getting rid of the toxicity. I'm telling you, I have come across some self disclosure, right? I have been in some unfulfilling relationships, whether they were at work, whether they were in friendships, whether they were in family relationships. Um, I've been there. I'm telling you that because I'm telling you that I'm not coming to you as an expert with all the answers. I'm telling you that I have walked in those shoes and had decided to cut it off if it was not meeting what I need. And sometimes you don't want to cut off a friend at work because they make you laugh. They lighten your day. They shorten the time. Sometimes you don't want to do that, but sometimes it is very much necessary that if this person who's smiling in your face and cutting your throat as soon as you turn left is not bringing you any fulfillment, and especially if they're doing that to you, then this is an unfilling relationship. And maybe it's time for you to reevaluate the relationship and just use it for what it is. So in the workplace, the relationship for me is just work. Be cordial. Hello, good day. How are you? Um, and let me just retract. How are you? Because I believe in asking someone, "How are you?" You're really concerned how that person is. You really are curious. How are you? How are you doing? So I had this conversation since I'm on the self disclosure train with a peer of mine, Sweetheart. She is a sweetheart. She has opened up to me about a lot of different things, and I've shared things with her. And we have this disagreement on a topic, right? So she's very polite. Even if she doesn't really get along with people, she still would say, "Hello, how are you doing?" You know, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. Now, that doesn't make her wrong at all. It makes what she's doing work for her. What I'm doing works for me. And some people won't understand your groove, your drive, your step. They'll be like, well, why do you do it that way? Why are you doing that? They will question that. I'm not saying that she questioned it, but we have two different views about, if I ask you how you doing, I'm really concerned how you doing. Hello, how you doing? It's not lip service. But if I say good morning, I'm wishing you a good morning and peace in the Middle East. That's it. I have nothing else that I really want to say unless it's related to the work. That's professional. That's me purifying, purging the negative relationship that you're trying to give me when it's not going to fill me with what I need, right? Let's talk about purging friendships. So there are friendships that sometimes you just have to purge. Does it hurt? Absolutely. Because at some point, you and that individual were friends and it gave you it met your needs and you held on to that. And somehow you end up hurting that person, or that person end up hurting you, or you two just hurt each other. And guess what? Now you're broken. With friendships, are those friendships worth healing and moving on, or are they so broken and fragmented that you keep stepping in the same black hole, and now you're trying to figure out, wait, what's going on? Sometimes you just have to purge that relationship. Sometimes you do. I am a faith-based person. So I truly believe in that. Um, Everything has its season. Everything. And as much as you try to hold on to that thing for dear life because it serves some kind of purpose in your life, you end up finding out, well, wait a minute now. It's no longer serving a purpose for me. As much as I want to hold it, I want that man to love me. I want this woman to be dedicated to me. Whatever that relationship is, you're holding on to it for dear life. And the next thing you know, say, well, this is not serving me any good at all. So what am I going to do about it? Am I going to stay in an unfulfilling relationship, be it marriage, friendship, employment, whatever that relationship is? Or are you going to do something about the relationship? Child, In Vogue sings a song that I love, and I haven't heard that song. And if you two wouldn't sanction me, I will play it for you. But if you don't know what the song is, I'm going to encourage you. Go over there and download or look up Free Your Mind, and the rest will follow. It will. It absolutely will. It will. When we learn to free our mind, we learn to breathe. We learn to see things more clear. We learn to identify those things that are toxic. Now, listen, no relationship, be it marriage, friends, work, are perfect. Why? Because we're imperfect creatures. So there are times when we're going to run into situations, oftentimes than none. But how do we handle them? And at some point, do we come to a point of saying that it's time to purge the relationship and just move on? Just move on. They said if it's worth keeping, it will come back. Sometimes it's worth keeping and they come back, and it's okay to take those relationships back because you have no expectations for them, because that's when the letdown comes in. You have made some growth during the season when you were separated, and you healed for the better. So I believe in purging a relationship is good at times. And then when it comes back, have your glasses off, not your jaded glasses. Don't have them on. Have your glasses off so that you can see the true person or situation in front of you. That's how I see it. What are you guys thinking over there? I see, oh, I got 3 likes. I bet you one of those likes is me. Because, see, here's a good thing about the whole purging. Don't wait for people to validate you unless you can validate yourself. Right? Real talk. If you're not willing to validate yourself and put yourself in a position of exceeding, um, e- um, escalating, and exceeding in what you're doing, then have no expectations that those people can do those for you. You looking like, oh, well, I need this and I need that. And the very people that's in your circle isn't giving that to you because you don't even know how to give it to yourself. I'll tell you something else. And I said this on a previous show before. I had this walk and I walk fast, child. Oh, it's part of when I'm about my business. I'm on my game, so I'm walking. And I walk fast and sometimes I have tunnel vision on. And a girl in a different office that where I work at said to me, she says, "Can I tell you something?" I was like, "Sure." Self disclosure. I don't need to fluff you guys' boat or my boat. I'm just if I speak it, it happened. She says, I love the way you walk. You just walk with so much confidence. You exude confidence. Your shoulders and your head be up high. She said, "I just wish I had some of that. Like I wish I knew how to do that." And I was like, "Oh." I said, "Well, one, I walk fast. So it's not me trying to make my presence known. But I walk fast when I'm trying to get things done. So I'm like, oh, let me get this done. And I have tunnel vision on. So I'm not looking to the left or the right. I'm dead focused on like getting this show air today. I'm dead focused on getting my task done. So I end up saying, okay, this is what I see. When you see me, based on what you're saying, you see someone who's walking with all this confidence. Yes, because if I don't walk with confidence, the people who don't have confidence will try to project that on me. So I start questioning myself. Well, there must be something wrong with me. I shouldn't walk with confidence. I shouldn't speak with confidence. No, I I know I should, and I encourage you to do the same. Don't let nobody have your face dragging the ground like a turtle when you should be walking with your neck high like a giraffe. That's just what it should be. Don't wait for people to make you feel a certain kind of way. Figure out how to feel that on your own, which is why having like minded people around you is important. If you got crumb snatchers around you, guess what? You ain't gonna have no crumbs for yourself because they're all about take, take, take. And you're trying to, wait a minute, I need something. Remember, make a deposit only in places you can make a withdrawal from. So if you got those friends who are not validating you, you might want to figure out, well, listen, I need to make some changes. And I'm not saying stroke your ego every time you turn around. Because if that's the case, then something's wrong. Like you might need to sit with a therapist. You might need to sit with a therapist and figure out why is it that you need this validation. Hold on, guys. I don't want to lose my power. Okay. So you may need to sit down with a therapist. And let me tell you something. There is nothing wrong with having a counselor, a therapist. You should probably have one of those, all those numbers in your phone. You might want to get rid of some of those and just might consider, I'm not telling you need to, consider having you a therapist on speed dial. Somebody who's healthy, somebody who's able to hear you and give you some kind of support and feedback. Because I know it's important for me to have. As a counselor, it's important for me to have another counselor, a mentor, somebody I can go to and bounce off these feelings and ideas and frustrations so that I can clear my head and continue to climb this ladder that's called life. Tea time. While you marinate on that. Tisha, now, did I just do a mukbang? Did you hear me sipping this tea? Sorry, guys. All right. So, I want to go a little bit deeper with you guys. This is a safe space, so you don't disclose something that you don't want other people sharing. It needs to be a place where you can feel comfortable having a conversation. This is open dialogue. So, if you have, there's four people watching, which means it's probably two. Um, There's four people watching, and that's okay. Because if one person in today's topic takes something away from the show, then the show serves its purpose. Everybody's not going to be down with the get down. Everybody's just not going to be with the get down. They're just going to say, okay, I came by. Yeah, I was there. But what did you get from the show? Real talk. Were you here superficially, or were you here because you want to benefit, you want to gain something from the show, you were enlightened by the show, and in the same token, you enjoyed the show, right? So I just wanted to see if you guys are grooving with me. Is there any other questions over there for me to ask on the air, or is there any questions that you want to share in the chats where people can give some feedback on their own? I just went over there to Facebook and liked my own show. She did it. That's what she did. So my shirt, as you can see with my shirt, it says "Be a nice human." And the way you be a nice human is start being nice to yourself. Most times my shirts are going to mean something. So um, let's see what's going on over there. The show. You like this shirt? Thank you, Naomi. I appreciate it. Um, um, I can tell you guys that since we were talking about the shirts, I know that we're still talking about the purge, but at some point we will be having shirts and mugs and wine glasses where you guys can put an order in and get you a shirt and wine glass and support the show that way. So they will be coming soon in due time. But I want to get back to this whole thing about purging and understanding how to purge. Purging is okay when it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, give yourself permission to say, I need to cut this off and let it go. If it doesn't serve a purpose, if it's not making you smile, if it's not allowing you to breathe lightly, if you find yourself worried and feeling full of anxiety, if you are questioning your own self worth, if your phone calls to people are one way, if your relationship is not putting a smile on your face, all of these are reasons for you to kind of look and ask yourself, is it time for me to cut off this situation and allow room for something else? Listen, there have been people that cut me off. I am not perfect. I have been cut off. Somehow, maybe they felt because I'm thinking of a few people haven't told me what it was, but they purged me, and that's okay. It's okay because if it brings them peace and happiness or whatever it is that they got from that, this is what I want for everybody that comes into my life. Don't be in my life or me in your life for just selfish reason. I need to be. I would want to be in your life because I'm serving a purpose that is beneficial, not hurtful. So when people purge me, when I was younger, I used to question that, like, oh, I want to still be in that person's life. I want to be close to them. I want to hold on to them. And in the long run, I was the one getting hurt. I was the one getting disappointed, let down because the very person that I wanted didn't want me back. And that's real talk for whatever their reason was. And oftentimes we try to figure out, well, what's the reason? Why don't you want to keep this relationship, whatever the relationship is, right? Why do you want to break it? Why do you want it to not work for whatever reason? And you're still holding and holding and holding. And life is about change. Life is not about staying stuck and stationed. Life is about growth and change. If it's stifling you, it's not growth. If you're stifling somebody else, you're hindering their growth. So we are learning how to let some things go. Matter of fact, learning how to let a lot of things go and get into a place of happiness and fulfillment. I got this book. I got the book during Thanksgiving, and it's by Michelle Obama. It's called, oh, now why can't I think of the book name? Um, I just drew a blank, guys. If you know what book I'm talking about, let me know. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can bring it up because hold on. Oh, that Michelle Obama book. What is it? Okay, I know, but I'd rather take time and give you the right information than giving the wrong information. So, 1 second. Okay, so the book is called Becoming. I couldn't think of that for nothing. It's called Becoming, and I got the book during Thanksgiving because I wanted to actually have it for my family when they came to my home for Thanksgiving. It's like a diary, and instead of me using it for myself, what I wanted to do was share with my family so that they actually can write their own. Whatever chapter, whatever page, whatever they were reading, that they can write something that they can reflect on. And I think it was the best thing. So maybe you want to go pick up this book. It's called Becoming by Michelle Obama. It came out in 2018, but I got it in 2019. I saw 2018, so I hope that was the right time. And I got the book because I wanted to be able to journal some things that I needed to purge and look at and take a new inventory on. And then there were some things I wanted my family to also do too. Things that they were happy about, their growth celebrations, their achievements, things that they wanted to see within the family system, as well as the same thing I wanted to do. So we all wrote in this book, and every event, especially the holidays, birthdays, or something big that the family's coming together, I bring this book so that we all can write again. No one is allowed to read it at that time. They can read their own thing, but you're not allowed to read anyone else. My goal is really to fill the book, and then we pass the book around and let people see what the growth that their family had, or the admiration that they had for someone. Hopefully they're telling them that, but they document it. It's almost like a what do you call it? Um, I don't know why I'm thinking that thing. Where you put something away and then you like bury it, like some kind of treasure thing, and then you look back over and be like, wow, look at this change, look at this growth. It's a good book, so you might want to pick it up for yourselves and just start journaling some things that you are noticing for yourself and that you can reflect on and says, wow, I was once here, but now I'm here. Guys, this show again was all about purging the impurities in your life, the relationships, the brokenness, so that you can be in a place where you can receive happiness and joy. And first and foremost, start loving on yourself. Remember that this platform here is about having those difficult conversations. We're not always going to be talking about those housewives and all those people over there, or just superficial things. We're going to be talking about things that I think that would be helpful to you as well as helpful to me. Sometimes we'll go deep, sometimes we'll stay very surface. But I would thank you so much. It's a time capsule, absolutely. Um, I just encourage you to remember nothing and no one is perfect. So, part of growing and learning is being able to identify what makes you happy and what doesn't. And when that very thing does not make you happy, you don't need the permission from anyone else to purge those things out of your life. And if someone decides to purge you, you might just want to say thank you, even if it's in your prayers or whatever you do to just be in the moment and say, you know what, it was probably for the best. Cry that relationship and then move on. And if they come back, if they haven't closed the door completely, then that's okay. But you need to be in a space to receive them and them receive you. Because any relationship, be it work, friendship, marriage, dating, whatever that relationship is, it is a two-way street. A two-way street. There is a give and a take. And that's okay because that is what relationships are about. They're about giving and taking. Remember, deposits and withdrawals. And when you find out that's not working anymore and the person or the situation has now left, that's okay. Get your becoming book, find a pagineer, and write that sucker down. Look back at some point in your life when you've realized you made a step, if not 25 steps, and look from where you came from to where you are now. And if the person comes back and you're able to receive them, the relationship may be even stronger and better because the both of you or you and those individuals have learned how to have a more healthier, respectful relationship. Guys, take this and don't forget. At the Voice Gathering online podcast show at this table, always remember diversity, diversity, keyword, is a strong, strong word. Inclusion is a strong, strong word. And belonging is a strong, strong word. And until we recognize that, we can't benefit, we can't use it. So I'm sharing with you, always know diversity is being able to invite you to the table where you can have a seat, while inclusion is having a voice and belonging is having that voice heard. And on this platform, you would always have the opportunity to sit here and share your voice so that we can learn from one another and agree to disagree in a respectful place. I truly appreciate your dedication and time to this show. Um, it's my prayer from my lips to God that He would send me people that's going to come around me and help me manage this machine, and that I will have less hiccups in the future. But when it happen, I will take a deep breath, purge whatever that feeling is, and get it out so that it does not cloud me all up. I am so grateful that you guys came over here to be a part of the show, and I hope that you will give the show a like before you go. If you come into the show after the show has ended, I hope that you will share your comments respectfully. If they're not respectful and they are disrespectful, criticism I can take, healthy criticism, judgment, toxicity, I won't take, and I will just delete your comment and block you from the show, because this space is a healthy space. It's not a place of causing chaos. So please don't forget, like, thumbs up, share. Share it. There's a share button right there. Share it to your Facebook, your YouTube channel, whatever it is, especially if you believe somebody can benefit from it and if you enjoyed the show. Also, don't forget to always stay subscribed to the channel. It's going to get better. I'll keep saying that because I'm going to manifest that into existence. So with that being said, guys, I thank you so much for coming on today's show, and I hope that you will come back on Tuesdays for Tea Time with VG at 6:30, and that you will I hate giving a time for Tuesday, but I'm trying to get it to 6:30, 7 o'clock. That's Tea Time, Hot Topics. And coming to the show on Fridays for a more in-depth conversation with your girl D and sometime guests. I can't wait till you guys hear who's coming on the platform. You can really probably benefit from that. Until next time, guys, have a wonderful night, and I will see you later. Be blessed. Bye.